Welcome one and all, I'm Decoy, back with some more cool and unique camp locations for you. Starting off in the forest this week with a spot I'm sure many of you already know about, and that's the Wilson Brother Auto Repair. Now, this spot's kind of weird in the fact that it's a map location that you can fast travel to, but you can also put a camp down. Now, to be fair, I have avoided putting this spot in the series like it was the plague, for the fact that it is a map location that you can camp at. I've kind of been under the thought process that sooner or later they're going to make this a no camp zone. There is no way they meant for people to be able to camp here. But they haven't removed it as a camp area yet. Just keep in mind that down the road that could definitely change, and it wouldn't surprise me in the least if it does happen. But at least for now, you can camp here and enjoy it, so take advantage of it. Now, the first thing I need to know about the area is enemies will spawn here. There's at least one enemy that spawns in this building, and then there's more enemies a little bit further on when we get there. The plus side to camping here is there is a bunch of junk and other loot that you can take advantage of. But up here at this next building, this is probably the main area that people are going to be putting down their camps. But this spot has several scorched that will spawn inside the building. So at least for me, this is probably the least important part of the entire place. There's a lot of cool stuff going on with it, but having the enemies spawning inside this building would annoy the heck out of me. I mean, it is cool. You get the power armor station and armor workbench. Plenty of stuff for you to loot in here. But my personal opinion, I think it's the third structure that we're going to take a look at that is the coolest. But if you're going for a specific type of build, you may want to take advantage of this building. It does have a little bit of an upstairs area. Nothing too spectacular. But now we'll head out the back door, because back behind this place, kind of up the cliff a little bit, is our third building. It's an intact house, and this place is really cool. I mean, it looks especially creepy, and that is appropriate. Now, for those of you who don't know, there is something special about this house, and no, it's not that food, although that food is awesome. And you got a fair amount of junk in here. But that Mothman poster, that should give you a hint as to what's going on with this place. Because as we make our way down into the basement, in this little side room, there's a Mothman totem. And a rad rat. Oh, brad rat. No, rat. Oh my god, mole rat. I don't know why I was thinking of a rad rat. Don't see them too often. But you can get the cultist ritual bindings, in case you're going for that. Overall, it's a pretty good spot. I think if you were throwing your camp up towards this structure, you might be a little bit better off than having it at the previous one. But I'm sure you're still going to get attacked by the enemies. They are low-level enemies, so it's not nearly as bad as some locations out there towards the east. Overall, pretty cool location, but again, just keep in mind that sooner or later, it's probably gonna become a no-camp zone down the road. But if you want to camp there and you don't know where it's at, you'll find it right over here. Overall, map location-wise, it's not horrible. And people can fast travel to your camp even if your vending machines aren't on. Now for Toxic Valley. Now this location might not look like much. I know some of you are thinking, oh my god, Decoy, I'm so tired of seeing these tents. Stop doing this to me. Well, too bad, because you got 3 tents and you got 2 petrified corpses. Alright, switching it up a little bit. Nah, not really. So, the reason I've got this one is, of course, the tents. They're cool. But I really like the view because it looks down on the wavy willards. And I mean, I wish it wasn't foggy right now, because then we could really enjoy the view. But you get the idea. There's a nice view looking out. You've got several tents right there. The area looks relatively flat once you clear out the trees and other garbage. But if you're wanting to camp here, it is of course going to keep you up towards the top of the map. But it is pretty cool, and I didn't see any enemies up there when I was checking it out. So that's pretty cool. Now let's head down to the Ash Heap. And this is a location long ago that I had started to put a camp down at. And I ended up getting a little frustrated with it, and I ended up leaving. But the only thing really of note here for you to pick up is there is this toolbox. I don't think there's anything else nearby. I do know that somewhat close to here there is a random spawn, and if you're camping here it may block that random spawn. I don't know what all will spawn in that random spawn location. I just know it's nearby here because I can remember running into the stuff there. But the reason I camped here long ago was that right there. I was like, oh man, I throw down a camp here, I'm gonna get free power. That'd be amazing. It's awesome that they thought about doing that kind of stuff to get people to camp in spots you normally wouldn't bother camping. And then I found out that I couldn't hook power up to it, and I went, well, that was worthless. Why would you do that to me? I mean, the thing's moving. Make it like on fire or something so I know it's worthless. But if you want to check the spot out, you'll find it right there. It is really close to a train station, which is always nice. Now let's head to the Savage Divide. And this location is pretty close to the last Savage Divide location that I gave you. And while there's not a whole lot going on here, I wanted to show it because there's two things here that may help you out with some of the possum badges and stuff like that for the people who end up being a little bit newer to it or haven't messed with it. Because you're going to have a crossbow that spawns here, and that is a set spawn, always going to be a crossbow. And then for some reason, the weird arrow floating out the side of it. We're not going to talk about that. And then down here, a little bit further down, we have some silver veins, which are needed on one of the other badges. Now, a little bonus is right over here. There is an animal spawn point, so if you do end up camping here, you can take advantage of getting some free food from the local wildlife from time to time. And if you're wanting to camp here, not a horrible location map-wise. It's towards the center, and also pushed down towards the bottom, which I don't think people mind as much about that. Now let's head into the mire. And this location right here, I feel like this would be an awesome spot for a custom treehouse build. And you do have a little bit of loot around the area. You got your toolbox, you got a suitcase, and then the tree that goes up over this dump truck, you can actually walk up it. And then further down we got more vehicles up in the trees. It's really cool. And then down here you got a chem cooler, a hammer, a hat, and then a lunchbox. And of course glowing fungus. Whoop-de-doo. But yeah, just looking at it, I just feel like that'd be a really cool spot to build a custom treehouse. But I would be a little bit worried that a Scorch Beast may take interest in you from time to time. Because, I mean, that's what they do, alright? There's no avoiding it. Even with you way over here, sooner or later, a Scorch Beast will just come out of nowhere and be like, hey, what's going on over here at this place? I'm gonna blow it up a little bit. I bet they'd like that. But now let's head to a horrible, horrible location in the Cranberry Bug. And when I say horrible, I mean horrible. there's not much about this that could redeem it. And I really wouldn't camp here. I don't advise it. It would be a horrible idea. But there is a duffel bag, an ammo box, glowing fungus, and yeah, that's about it. It may be a spot that when you're passing through the area, just dip in there real quick, grab what you can. But you can camp there, and it is a unique location, so it made the cut. But you definitely shouldn't camp here because you are really close to a fisher site. And that's going to wrap up this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Definitely don't camp here. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. Anyways, yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. As usual, please remember to like, sub, and share. Later.